Well, a good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us. This is The Defining Moment coming to you from Elevate TV, all right? Thank you very much for, being here so that we can get to engage on The Defining Moment. We get to listen to powerful stories, stories of restoration, stories of, salvation, redemption. And through these stories, we realize that in the defining moments, God came through. And today they have hope. They have a future. They get to share those stories with us. Today we are with Dorcas Wangare. She's come all the way from Nyandarua County. She's going to share her story, near-death experiences, not just one, but a number. But through that, she survived, and there was a reason why God saved her. Dorcas, karibu sana.
Thank you so much for having me this afternoon.
You're well, eh?
Yes, I am.
Blessed.
Amen.
Ni kama tulikuwa tumepanga.
I'm wondering.
You got the memo?
Yes.
Haiko mbali sana.
Haiko mbali sana. Mine is navy blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what blue this is.
I also don't know.
But it's haiko mbali na navy blue.
Haiko mbali. Karibu tunaenda kukaribiana. Yeah.
But karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank
nice
you for
to
making
meet you.
time. Thank you, Karibu.
Yeah.
So let's get to hear a bit about your beginnings. You can introduce yourself, give us more details about yourself.
Okay.
Tell us about your beginnings before now we get to the deep, to the matter, to the core of your testimony.
Okay. My name is Dorcas Wangari. I am a model, a high fashion model.
Sorry, what model?
Yes, I am a model, a high fashion model. High fashion model.
What's the difference? What is a high fashion?
A high fashion is that person who is on those big runways, those very big runways. Like
unatembea hivi,
unakanyaga
unapinduka. You have to have a certain height, right?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
So
at least you have to be from 5.4.
Ukienda juu.
So
you're 5 what?
Actually, I'm exact 5.4.
Oh, you're 5'4".
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And having heels makes you taller.
This one's to me, it's like flats.
It's only 6 inch.
No, this is 4 inch.
4 inch.
Yes.
Well, 6 inch.
Actually, three and a half.
3.5.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So you're a model, right?
Yeah, I'm a model, and I have a privilege to represent my country this year in Nigeria.
Oh, great.
Yes.
All right, later this year.
Actually next month.
In October.
Is Miss Humanity Africa.
Oh, Miss Humanity.
That is the title I'm holding right now.
Miss Humanity.
Yes.
There must be something about that title.
True.
I like the word humanity.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm born again.
Amen.
And I thank God for this afternoon. And yeah.
This evening.
Yes, sure, yes. This evening.
Right.
Yeah.
So you hail from Nyandarua.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your upbringing.
Well, I'm from Nyandarua County. That's where I grew up.
All right.
But I was not raised by my biological family because I never had a chance to meet them.
Oh, really?
I was raised by a distant family whereby I see they are my family because that's where I used to call my home. But that was not my home.
All right.
And I was raised as an orphan and as only one child.
Okay.
And
so your parents passed on?
No.
Okay.
I've never met my parents.
So what happened? What were you told?
I was told I was brought to that home where I was very literal.
Okay.
And I tried to inquire about the whole story, but there was no one to tell me about it. Because anytime I could inquire about it, there's some point you want to know your real family, because you see how people are treating you, or maybe how they are taking you as a person, and you don't get it. You'll have to ask yourself several questions. Even though I was very literal, but I could understand several things. So I used to inquire about my biological parents, but there was no anything.
You were not ukuambiwa anything?
No. And one of the uncles said that I was brought while I was very literal. And it was so annoying because you'll see other kids experiencing good school, everything.
A different kind of love.
Yes, different kind. Because me personally, I never had a chance of being loved as a child until I think I was 18 or 20. That's the time I realized someone can be loved as a child. you know. There's people who can love you the way you are.
So at what point did you realize you don't belong to that family?
I think I was 7, in between 7, 8.
And you asked?
And I asked.
And you were told?
I was.
Wewe mama yako na baba yako?
Actually, the reason at first I came to realize there was a small gathering.
Okay.
And then I was with the other kids and we were just talking. And I remember we were serving some food, and you know what, you are young kids, you just go somewhere and sit down on the grass, and then you just want to join because they're there. You know, while kids are young, you want to do the same thing.
That's true.
And then when I started there, one of the kids told me, "Why are you staying with us and you're not part of us?" And then I was like, how do you mean?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they walked out.
All right.
And then I was just left alone. So I could not even follow them. I could just I was supposed to just stay there and just look at them. And started crying. And at the end of the day, I left that place. And I went back to our other place. And I can say my bringing up wasn't that easy, because even my schooling was very
On and off.
On and off, on and off. Sometimes I would just be sent home because of fees. And I think from class 1 to class 8 it was okay, but I was just on and off. Sometimes I'm in school, sometimes I'm not in school. And one day after I finished primary school, I happened now to supposed to join high school. After Form 1, it was okay. And because at the end of the day, the person who was paying my school fees was not a person from my family, from that place I called my family. She was just someone who decided to support me because she knew my story, she knew what was happening. And after some time, some people were against it because she was not part of that home. They were against of it. And by the time I was to join Form 2, actually I think I joined, and then there were no money for school. I had to drop from there. And that was the end of high school, education. My education.
Form 2.
Yes.
Wow.
And whereby I was a very bright student, but at the end of the day, I didn't have that opportunity to go back. And because I was raised with one of the kids who was a boy, he was taken to a private school. And I remember at some point I begged to be taken to school, and they said that there were no money. At the back of my mind, I'll ask myself,
we are in a private school.
We are in a private. What about myself? Why can't I go to
even a public school?
Exactly.
I
didn't even mind. I didn't even mind whether you buy me shoes or just go with no shoes, because nilikuwa na your passion.
Okay.
But there was no one to support me. I remember during that time, I tried to kill myself. I went to a pit latrine and went inside.
I just answered.
Nilingia kwa hiyo shimo. And then after I go to this part of my body.
So wewe ulikuwa unataka kuenda all the way?
Yes.
Ukaanza kuingiza miguu. Ukifika hapa, you forgot you had this part was
yes, it was a bit
ilikuwa
big.
kubwa kushinda huko chini.
And you know, I was pushing.
So that you drop inside.
Yeah, because at the end of the day there was no life. Because if there is no school, why not even frustrated. I think I was depressed. I can say maybe that was depression. And I pushed myself down. Unfortunately, and you can imagine how disgusting today if I'm told to do something like that. I cannot even do. But I didn't even think. And I knew if I go down there, they will not find me. It's not easy to be found.
Question, did you know how deep the pit latrine was? You had an idea?
I didn't care.
You didn't care?
All I wanted is just to go down and never to be seen again.
What kind of...
Sasa
ungeanguka hapo na CD.
Haina shida.
Unajua sasa lazima wabomoe hiyo kitu yote.
Imagine they have to...
And then all the smell and everything.
Do you know, I didn't care.
You didn't think about it.
I didn't even think about it because I thought that was the only solution. Because I thought of going to a borehole. They used to have a borehole. You know, in the village, the way they have those boreholes for water. Unfortunately, it was locked. I went to another neighbor. It was they normally used to lock it. There's a way they build for it, and they lock because of the kids. They normally go to play around there. So when I went inside down that pit latrine, I couldn't go down, and I was praying so hard no one would come to this washroom because I don't want to be found. My
Washroom
plan
is very sophisticated.
yes, I want to just go
Yeah.
down, and I'm pushing myself, but unfortunately, I can't go down and I can't come up. So I'm like, if I can't go down, then let me try to pull
pull up.
myself
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
And then unfortunately, one guy came around, and when he entered, he was like, what are you
Ni
doing
nini
there?
unajaribu?
Actually, I think even he slapped me. And then I was just look at, it's to that extent whereby you have been even experienced beating to an extent, you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Even if you beat me up, I don't feel any pain.
So at this point, of course, you're mature enough.
Yeah,
You're
by
about
then
14,
I think,
15?
yeah, 14,
14,
13
years.
actually.
Yeah. So you attempted hiyo story ikaenda hivyo, ukazomewa sana.
And then they were unable to draw me out, even though they strained for like 20 minutes. Wow. Because, I'm down and then I'm fighting my legs because I'm squeezing myself away that they will not be able to pull me up.
So you're resisting.
I'm resisting. Like, so we are fighting.
Yeah.
These are fighting to pull me up, and I'm fighting down there because I don't want to come up. So the condition was, you give me what I want, I'll come out. And then they accepted, whereby it was not even true.
Yeah.
And then I was rescued from that place.
Yeah.
And I think after that scenario, I stayed for some times. It's when I think she was from our home area, and she came to Ushago.
Right.
And I remember it was almost during Christmas, whereby she had come to visit her family. And I remember I shared a bit with her, but she used to know what was happening.
Yeah.
And she told me, I'll just bring you to Nairobi and maybe take you to school because I know that's what you want. Right. That was like a turning point. And I was very excited about it. But at the end of the day after we came, though it was a process even before I came out of that place.
Yes.
After we came, we went to her house. She didn't take me to school. She made me to be staying at home and helping her with her chores in the house and staying with the kids.
Wow. So ulipata kazi ya
kwa mboch, inaitwa mboch hiyo. And it was so annoying. But I didn't give up because one thing I was happy I can say, where I was back in the village, I could lack food. I could even sleep outside because I know if I go to that house, they'll beat me up because of something. Even at some point because of no reason.
Right.
And then
at least hapo kuna chakula.
Kuna chakula, kuna breakfast, Because when I was in the village, I could even go steal some food from someone. Or maybe get some chickens when everyone is gone. Alafu nitaigonga, then nitachoma kwa hiyo moto. Wow. But if anyone come at that time, I'll receive a good beating. So when I came, and we stayed for some times, and I used to ask her about school, and she could tell me that I'll take you to school after some times.
All right, pause it right there. We'll be coming back with Dorcas Wangari. Challenges of growing up, and quite a few because of the frustration, wanting to commit suicide once, twice, 3 times, and of course meeting other challenges. But today she's stronger, and she believes God had a reason why she's here today. We come back in a short while right here on The Defining Moment. Don't go too far.